This week we had a lot of controversial changes to Minecraft 1.20, both in the new snapshot where they've changed the names and the looks of some things, but also in the new 1.20 preview for Bedrock where the recovery compass took a big L today. If you're curious as to why, it's because when you die, if you have coordinates enabled, as most Bedrock players do, those coordinates will now show on your death screen, allowing you to work out exactly where you died, and you can go back and do that. In other words, the function of the recovery compass is now going to be built into vanilla Minecraft, and this raises the very obvious question of what is the point of the recovery compass after the death screen update. However, the more obvious question is what was the point of the recovery compass before that, and if you're curious as to when the new death screen will be coming out, as indeed Asher C. Shorts is, the new death screen, and with it the recovery compass nerf, is going to be coming out as an option in the next update. That could be releasing as soon as next Tuesday. However, it's going to be a while till it's a mandatory part of the game, because honestly, if you look at this death screen, just like how if you look at the new menu screen, it doesn't really fit with the rest of the game because they're designing the UI one element at a time, but it's also missing the high score on the death screen, as indeed Eric Clapton's Robot Pilot laments, and this is something really weird because the high score on Java is one of those weird features that almost no one knows about. Be honest with me, did you know what the high score was before watching this video? You know, did you know what it represented? Because I didn't. I looked it up this week, and apparently it's the total amount of XP gathered in a world total. Speaking of the Java edition, by the way, they also had a new snapshot this week. Tales and Trails really is getting closer every single week, and in this particular snapshot, they changed the trail ruins. It has now got a few more variants. I'm really excited to see that on Bedrock so we can actually compare all of those. I will be going into that later, but they also did something really weird that Salmon YT658 asks about. Why are pottery shards now called pottery sherds? This is something that I read at 6 AM. I woke up with some real pain. I saw they renamed shards to sherds, and I wondered if it was just a joke for the changelog, or if Mojang had done what I've been saying for a while and made their April Fool's joke not on April the 1st. But this is in fact a serious change because, as you can see, pottery sherds is the real term if you are talking about, like archaeological finds, and so to describe them as being actual things you find in the ground as opposed to being just shards of a pot that's been broken, they are pottery sherds now. And although this is weird and alien to most of you watching this video, and honestly me as I read about this update, one of the cool things that this will result in is after the update, more people, like most of the world, will now know that pottery sherd is the real term for an archaeological find, and I think that's really fun that Minecraft can teach people about stuff even while doing something as silly as calling it pottery sherds, which just seems like they're making a bit of a meme. Speaking of making a bit of a meme, Lego Show TV says, do you think they should put the original dig site seen in the Minecraft Live 2020 footage that you're seeing right now, should they put that in the game instead of the trail ruins? And although I like the look of this, like a dig site, I think it'd be weird if that spawned in the game naturally. Maybe underground I could buy it, but just some of your surface being taken up by this would probably ruin some of the beauty of the Minecraft world. I think the trail ruins is great because it kind of just hides under the ground, disguises itself quite well, and you have to go looking for it. And so I do think, although the Live 2021 just looks so much better, the one that we've got right now is what we're gonna have to stick with. Speaking of sticking with things, hello, I'm ABXToyCat, and I hope you stick with Q&A Saturday, the weekly series where I answer your questions about Minecraft updates, the universe, and everything in between. And indeed, one of the most important questions you might ask is, can you avoid house fires by building your house 2 meters underwater? And there are only 2 ways you can avoid house fires. One is by, I guess, drowning yourself, and the second is by knowing that greater than 99% of house fires happen to people who aren't subscribed to the IBXToyCat channel. It does seem as though 99% of people are confused about the 1.20 update too, though, because SouthernBoy815 echoes a really common response of, is it just me, or is this update taking longer to come out than the others? And it's really funny because Minecraft has had this 1-a-year structure for updates for about 5 years now. They tried 2 a year one time and they released the Buzzy Bees update, and there's a reason they haven't gone back to that, is what I'm saying. But they have been releasing 1 update a year without fail, with the key exception being the Caves and Cliffs update, where they released half an update in a year and then another half an update half a year later. But in general, yeah, 1 a year is the normal standard. I think the big difference this year that makes it seem like it's taking longer is there's so much more hype around the update. A lot more people want to play it, and the more you care about something, the longer it seems to take to get to you. I mean, this is the relativity of, how we perceive time. When you're really anxiously waiting for something, like a big milestone in your life or something that you're really excited for, then that will take forever. But if you forget about it, it happens in the background and you totally forget. This is a very common thing in life. I'm sure it's not just me, but it is something that happened with Minecraft Legends, seemingly. There was this big hype around the game when it first came out, but then that hype wasn't sustained, and then it came out this week and a lot of people were like, oh wow, there's a new game, I guess I should maybe look into that. Speaking of Minecraft Legends, let's do a mini Legends Q&A in the middle here. Ooh, wow, crazy. Anyway, Moose asks, is it confirmed that the DLCs will have to be bought, or will they just update the game over time? Because I feel like that's what happened to Minecraft Dungeons. You'd finish a world and have to pay to play the next world. Like, I don't see the point of keeping to play and further enjoy the game. And honestly, that was the problem with Minecraft Dungeons. They launched a game that could be finished in 2 or 3 hours, and then said, oh yeah, and any new content is going to be part of the season pass, which you better be paying right now. And so if you go back and play that now, there's so much content, but you can only access the first like 1/8 of it if you only have the base game, which makes it feel a little bit like it's a free trial, except it's a very much paid trial. Is that how it's going to work with Legends? Well, there is definitely going to be paid DLC. It's called the Myths or something along those lines. There's a section in the store for it, but there is going to be a Lost Legend every month for free, and there is also going to be updates for the game. Logan asks, how long do you think they will be updating the game for? Here's the fun thing. They updated Minecraft Dungeons for 2.5 years after its launch. I think that game had more hype and also more of an immediate plan for how long it'd go on for. So we probably have at least a year or 2 of updates. Minecraft in general has this pattern of releasing something, seeing if it's successful, and working out the release pattern for there. Minecraft 3DS Edition is the classic example of they launched it, made an update, discontinued it, all in the span of like 13 months. And so will the same be true for Minecraft Legends? I mean, I hope not, but there are a lot of really concerning signs. Like, I asked my audience, people who mostly follow me for Minecraft, I asked, have you played Minecraft Legends yet? And 87% of people roughly said that they have not played the game yet, which is pretty concerning by itself, but another 60.5% said yeah, they probably won't play it also. More than half of Minecraft players, it sounds like, based on all the polls I've seen, don't even care about Minecraft Legends, which is a bad thing for a spin-off game, which is mostly appealing to people based on its Minecraft tie-in. And so if you're curious, partially as a result of that, I think I will mostly be done with Minecraft Legends content now. There's a lot of stuff in regular Minecraft I need to get through. There's a lot of fun things I have planned, and so besides maybe speedrunning to get my title back of being the world record holder again, I think I maybe will be giving Minecraft Legends a skip. I'll give one big review of the game, one big like explanation of its flaws maybe soon, but for now, that has been the Minecraft Legends section of the Q&A. Pixelations wants to move things to a Legacy Console section though, and ask, will I be continuing to play it? Although Legacy Console Edition unfortunately got discontinued, it would be cool to see you make a survival series on any console version. So this came in from Twitter, by the way. I do solicit Q&A questions there sometimes. If you ever see a tweet asking, you can respond to one of those. But also this week, I mentioned how Minecraft Legends cost $40, and people were saying that it was expensive, but I showed just how much Minecraft PlayStation 3 is costing, and let's just say I was asking that for a reason. I mean, the Minecraft Console Edition anniversary comes every May, and I like to do something for the Console Edition because it is where my heart truly is, and I think this year it'll be the PlayStation 3 or the PlayStation 4 edition, whichever one works on a PS5. I have no idea how backwards compatibility works. I'm not a big Sony pony, but what I am a big is definitely someone who believes in Minecraft Bedrock and parity, just like Fireblocker Pro does, who asks, what is the possibility of Minecraft Bedrock getting a parity update to match a lot more of Java's features? Funnily enough, this is something that's happening all the time. Every update has something in there. So for example, there's an update, 1.19.80, that is probably releasing on Tuesday. I'll keep you up to date if it does. But there is probably an update coming out on Tuesday that will limit the max size of a mob that can fit in a boat. In my opinion, that's an example of bad parity, you know, making boats worse for the sake of making them worse. But they are slowly introducing all these sorts of tiny parity changes to make the two versions much more similar. Speaking of making things much more similar, I recently got a conspiracy warning on one of my videos. This is something I've never seen before in any of my videos. I think I maybe saw the COVID vaccine one forever ago, like someone reported one of my videos for COVID misinformation when it was a Minecraft video. I thought that was weird, but the weirdest one is that Minecraft thinks my 100 days in a flat world video is promoting flat earth theory. And the funny thing is, they're totally right? I am 100% using that video to show why you should start a flat world yourself, why the flat world is clearly the superior way to play Minecraft, and yeah, apparently it upsets people. But Flubber Thunder asks, what's the point of YouTube labeling any video as a conspiracy when that is a relative term? And this is weird because the reason that YouTube has these conspiracy labels, the reason they have these big labels saying, please look up real sources, is because in traditional media, there is a gatekeeper who can control what people can and can't say. And so in general, that has all sorts of downsides, but it has the upside of really, really unpopular opinions just being impossible to air because they need to get through some studio executive who will say no. You can't spout your opinion about how awful that group of people are, or this medical disinformation or whatever it is. The media is kind of in control that way, and that's something that a lot of people find concern with on YouTube. And so YouTube's response is just to put up these generic boilerplate like, ooh, maybe look into this, maybe find out if this is real. And in reality, whether you're pro or anti any given conspiracy theory, because there is the occasional one that has some truth, like the US sinking the Maine in a false flag attack. There's the occasional like wacky like, oh, I think that actually is correct thing. I don't believe that JFK was shot. I think he's still president to this day, and I would love to see any proof to the contrary, except I also won't be looking at proof to the contrary. But the problem with these conspiracy warnings is if I was a big flat earther, I would see this as more proof that the system is out to get me, and I'm not going to read the anti-flat earth stuff. I'm just going to go, they're trying to take down my favorite creators. And so DragonXD2 asks, does YouTube just not get the flat world as an option in Minecraft, or do they not care? I think they put these warnings up based on the title alone, because when you see there's flat world in the title, maybe that's something the sort of person who's talking about flat earth might use. And so that's kind of funny to me. Obviously, if you looked at this thumbnail, 100 days in a flat world, and you had any real context, you'd be able to work that out. But the bots that we use aren't necessarily very clever, maybe intentionally, maybe not. But speaking of things that are intentionally not clever, this is a question for the next Q&A Saturday. Mojang usually adds 4 or so achievements for every major update. What 4 achievements do you think they'll add for 1.20? This is a really cool thing about Minecraft, is if you do care about gamerscore or trophies, you'll get new ones every update, and so 1.20 will likely add new content, and with it, you'll get some new achievements. I think there's always an easy one that'll be like, oh, chop down a cherry forest tree, and then there'll be like a kind of medium one that's just content in the update, like, ooh, hatch your first sniffer, and then there'll be something that's a little bit harder, like, ooh, find one of the, find and apply a rare armor trim to your armor, something like that. But then they'll also have something that's a little bit more off the wall in there. I hope that they do something like that. I always enjoy when there's new achievements to get. It's been a while since I've properly maxed out my achievements, because I used to do all my achievements on Xbox, but then I switched over to the PC, and so it's split between them. But I think achievements are such a great way to drive people to want to get back into a game and do new things, and so that is that's something I think they should totally do. By the way, this is a little deeper than the rest of the video, but Corbin asks, howdy Toy Cat, great video. I was wondering if you think the survivor aspects of the game should be more difficult. I would enjoy it, but I don't know if many others would agree. And I don't know why that entire thing was Texan, but what I do know is that Minecraft being a more tricky game is something a lot of people ask for. I even got this comment from the cat manager saying we need more late game features because the Elytra and stuff is so easy to get. And although that is an easy argument to make, you can get to the Elytra in an hour and a half if you really try, and if you're a speedrunner, you can get there in 25 minutes realistically. But that is something that still makes it late game. If a really, really experienced player trying solely to get something can do it in an hour, I think that is a sign that that thing is actually sufficiently late game. Obviously, Minecraft has players who play for tens of thousands of hours, so you probably need to have bigger goals than that. So the shulker box, getting one can take you an hour. Getting enough shulkers might take you several hours. And I think that's something they should focus on. So getting beacons, one beacon is relatively easy to do. 6 beacons to make a mega beacon together, that's a lot harder. Same with some of the achievements, to go back to that, getting enough emeralds, 1,000 or 10,000 emeralds. There's a lot of decent challenges in the game that basically revolve around scaling up existing things. If they made a new tier of armor, but it took 4,000 hours of grinding to get, do you know how upsetting that would be for a lot of people? Even if it took just 40 hours, like mining netherite already feels like it's a needless chore just for the sake of being a chore, and so would Minecraft benefit from more needless chores for the sake of chores? Probably not. I do think every update should add late game content, but 1.20 is doing a great job with the silence trim. I'm looking forward to getting the silence trim in my world. It's going to take me so long, it's going to pain me. I'm going to have to look through every single ancient city that I can find, but it's going to be worth it, probably. Speaking of things being worth it, I just want to mention something entirely unrelated to the rest of the video here, because I do like to comment on random YouTube videos, and it's a thing a lot of people see me doing across YouTube. And I mentioned on the Samsung washing machine theme, I saw someone did a remix. It was pretty good, and I commented that I never felt like I've been part of an exclusive club based on my kitchen appliance before, and I wanted to mention this solely because of the fact that people can get divisive about anything. I've seen this week over so many things about Minecraft, Java, Bedrock, etc. But I also also saw it on my kitchen appliance YouTube comment, because someone responded saying, kitchen appliance? Gotta work in your home geography, Toy Cat. And it's like, no, kitchens having washing machines is a normal thing. Having a whole separate room in your space, that is the luxury. That makes you the weird one. Admittedly, I think in the US, there are, home space is large and you can have whole separate rooms. But yeah, I just want to mention that it is a kitchen appliance that you choose to put outside your kitchen, because where is the plumbing in most people's house? It's the kitchen and the bathroom. And so if you put your washing machine outside one of those two things, you might need to consider you're in the global 99% of rich. And if so, have you considered subscribing to the channel, perhaps even joining as a member? If you don't know, joining is a great way to see all sorts of member-only videos, including a brand new one that rolled out this week. You can watch me bathe in Iron Brew. You can watch all the sorts of terrible things that should not be public on this channel. Join.ibxtoycat.com. I'd really appreciate it if you did it. We're going through some pretty wild times of the YouTube stuff right now, but things are good with the membership again, and so I wanted to encourage you, if you're rich enough to have a whole separate room for your laundry appliances, then maybe you should do that. And if you're not rich enough, one day, maybe you will be. Although, again, in most of the world, even rich people would have kitchens with washing machines in them. But speaking of rich people, thank you for watching. I hope you have a rich and wealthy day, because I'll see you in the next one, okay? Goodbye.